There's a bit of cleanup I need to do with this object, I'm pretty sure of it. So I'll start with that. I want to / to isolate this object. And I want to take the outside roof here. And the inside. Again, we're getting some Z fighting there, but that doesn't matter. We're going to be separating this and removing the rest. I will also separate the roof here. Okay, so this I want to just temporarily hide this. So that's the piece we want to get rid of. This is the roof. There's some issue there I'll need to look at. There's the issue. I don't need to look at it anymore. This, I'm actually just going to copy this. I'll separate it for the moment. I'll select all those polys there. And do I have some on the front? Yeah, smaller ones. I'll take them. Alright, that's everything. I'll P and select that. Right. Everything of importance is selected and hidden, so I'm just left with these offcuts that I want. So with that, I'll just grab it and X and delete. And now I'll unhide the cleaner mesh. I'm going to select everything here. I'll go into edit mode. 1, go into verts. A, select everything and right click and merge by distance. Okay, nothing removed there, so everything was alright to start with. Now here is sometimes a problem area where everything is kind of joining here in the center. I'm just selecting the vertex and I want to press the period key and zoom on it. Now it's zoomed right in for me. Now, okay, here's the problem. I seen something that wasn't right there. There's a rogue vertex there. So I'll select him, press X and dissolve. No, dissolve vertices I meant. Okay. So let's look. Is there any more? No. As far as topology goes, I think it's alright. There's quad, 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 quad. Yeah, they're all quads perfectly. Now, here. How will I deal with this? I could just put this. Remove the inner polygon here. Alright, okay, now I can just weld backwards. Now this one here will be the same. Remove that and just select you and you. X, remove faces. And I'll weld back again. Last corner. Right. Okay, so pretty much done there. I don't think for the moment I need this. I'll probably end up having to cut more back in. But for now, let's remove that. Dissolve. Okay, so there's something missing here. So if I was to unhide that, again, I want to grab this piece here as a proxy. I'll bring the floor with it here. I'm going to press Shift D. turn on snap here, increment. And I want to move him backwards and I have to rotate him 90. Yeah. So if we see here, there's a piece missing. Okay, so a way that's kind of coming to mind, it's kind of thinking outside the box really, but if I was to bridge this, I'll need to join these sections first. So Control J. Right, now if I was to bridge these gaps, I'll just select two and press F and draw a freeze between them. I'm then left with a bit of an issue here. Because this part of the roof it doesn't come out as far as the single roof does. But we can take something from that. If I just cut here, because we connected both these faces, if I cut, I can kind of place this where I think maybe not ballpark it so much. I'll try to be precise here. If I go right underneath this geometry, I can then see where this edge is running here. If I press Control R, and I'll turn the snap off here actually. I'm going to add this guy in. I want it to line up roughly, and because of the way this is cut, that edge is going to run through. So it runs smooth the whole way around. So I know now that edge is running and meeting up with that edge. But there's still, if I zoom on that, there's still a problem because there's a gap here. But now, like we're kind of used to at this point, if I can find, say, the Z value of this object, which is 4 meters, Control C, and now I can paste to this one. 4. That then closes that gap for me. So look at the back here. This has the same problem. So I need to... Oh, okay, I got rid of the edge here. Okay, I need to add that back in. Control R, add the loop. There's 2. Now I will add a face here. I'm just going to do the same. I'm going to go from a bottom order graphic. I want to find that edge there. Okay, kind of hard to see here. I think that's it. Control R here. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Now I'll tap him at 4. Okay, so I will remove this now, I don't need him. Okay, so we have all that optimized, and we're pretty much ready to go and start cutting these pieces up. One thing I noticed though is the cutter that we actually made is the wrong way around. I can see that because they're lining up here along the front of the object, if you can see that, but that's actually not the front. Remember, that's a bleed off. We need to make sure that it's lining up along this length of roof. So if I just rotate this 90 degrees, there we go. We'll see that it now snapped onto the sides, and if I look closer at this, it's actually running nicely along the front of the roof there, where that wooden piece kind of joins in. So if we were looking at this from a top down, that's our first square of a UV, that's our second, that's our third, that's the apex of the roof itself, and now we're going back into the far side. So it's going to set up perfectly there now. So how do I then recognize that this thing is pointing the right way whenever I need it to? Well, we can actually just kind of make a little bit of geometry at the front that it's like an arrow pointing the direction that we need it to project from. So to do that, I'll just press Shift A and I'll make a plane. And I can see it here in the background. I just want to go to the move tool. I'll move this out to the front. I'll turn snap off, give myself a little bit of a distance here. And in edit mode, I'll just take the top two vertices there and I'll just merge them at the center. So we have a little arrow point in the direction now that we want this projection to take place from. I just want to select that, now select my cutter and press Ctrl J and join the two of them together. So now I can always kind of tell which direction I'm cutting from, which is of course a bonus. Right, so with all that said, let's give this a go and try cut it and see how the result comes out. So I'm just going to isolate these and I'll have a look at what I've done to the geometry here. That's separate because I need to cut this piece from that angle. You can see that that's where the roof is falling away from the view, so I need to point it that way. But then when it comes to cutting this piece, I'll need to separate that actually. Select it and I'll go into poly mode and select all of that, the inside as well. B and selection. So when it comes to cutting this piece, because the fall off is going that direction, I need to turn my cutter 90 degrees. So I'm hoping now that that's starting to make a little bit of sense. Let's just kind of put it to practical use and see how it goes. Alright, so I'm going to snap that at 90 and I'm going to first cut this piece here. So to do that, I'll select the object. I'll go into edit mode, A to select everything, and I want to go into top-down orthographic view. I'll press Ctrl, select my cutter object, go to mesh, knife project, and there we go. Now there's a couple issues that happened here. They're probably not that big a deal though. At least we can see this kind of checkered result that we got, so we know that it is cutting. Okay, so there's the problem. I didn't turn on cut through object. So let's try that again. With everything selected, go to mesh, knife project, and make sure cut through is turned on. There we go, no problems. So if we look from the bottom, we can see that this is cut well as well. There's always going to be these little issues here as well you need to look for. They're not big deals at all, just this stray edge gone in. So if I just select that, X and dissolve edge, gets rid of that. I'm just going to turn the cutter off for a second here so we can have a better look at the geometry. Okay, so that looks like it worked out pretty perfect there. Right, so that's ready for UVing. Now I'll quickly just do this piece. So I'll turn my cutter back on, and like I said, I need to rotate the cutter 90 degrees so that the arrow is pointing the direction the roof is going. And I'll go back into top down, select the object, go to edit, select all, Control, select the cutter, go to mesh, knife project, make sure cut through is turned on, and there we go. That's cut nicely as well. Now this might have left us with a couple n-gons we need to kind of come in and clean up. Namely, if I look at it here, yeah, so here's the problem. An n-gon, if I highlight this, you can see we have 5 edges here. So we just need to kind of keep an eye out for that. We want to turn this into a try here. I'll select those guys, press J, won't let me. Alright, hang on. There we go. And the opposite side as well. And here. We've an n-gon here as well, so J to fill that. Okay, so there we go. Now unwrapping this is as simple as pretty much everything. Well, it's not simple. Nothing in Blender UV is simple, but we've covered it. So I'll select the object, give it the material I want. I'll remove the default and add Atlas 01. And now I'll just start cutting this guy up here. I can just start with unwrapping all the perfect squares that are kind of visible to me here. And then you can get into the more complicated pieces after. So all these three are upside down. I need to rotate this. I can't. Go to UV, unconstrain. Okay, they're all the right way around now. Might as well select these as well. And I'll come into UV. Oh, come on. There, turn constrain back on. And just fill out this. Can't. Turn off snap. Still can't. Okay. Of course. One by one it is. Okay, that's acting up again. If ever that's snapping like that for you, you just need to unwrap it again. Absolutely no reason whatsoever, but okay. So I'll select these again, and I will turn on my snap. Make sure absolute grid snap is turned on with move and scale, and I'll just move down into place. Yeah, this guy's upside down, so I need to rotate him. I can't because of constraint. Okay, everything else looks alright. So this would be the square here, so we can unwrap that. Select everything, rotate it. Here we go. So we can see that that would be a full edge. So we're okay to fill out this square and then just resize this up into the top. Let's have a look at the runoff. Okay, little problem with it here, so I will select it. I'll get right in on it. I might need to go into edge select here. I'll select that edge and I'll press Q and align X. Okay, and that's not letting me move again. There we go. I'll press G and just snap him. Alright, let's fix that. No, it hasn't. There's a problem here. Okay, so... yeah, okay, so I need to bring this right to the edge. Yeah, that fixed that, okay. Right, so... I'm sure at this point you're kind of getting the drift of what I'm doing. It's really just a repetitive process from this point. So what I'll do is off camera is I'm going to finish this piece out just by unwrapping things with the same method that I've been using in the past few videos. And once that's done, I'll kind of pick up where I left off, but I'm going to be showing some add-ons we can get to really make our life easier as well when it comes to this. So once I turn these, I'll call it a day here. Okay, they all need to be rotated. So I'll need to turn off my constraint here. It's off, okay. Turn at 180. And now, will it be nice and let me do? Okay, it did. Okay. So with all that, I'll just fill up the top. There we go, that was a pretty easy side. Right. And that's basically how this master cutter object is going to work now. We're going to drop all of our uncut pieces into this region, automatically cut them up, and then we can just apply the UVs using that method there. So I'm going to finish out this piece here, and next time we join up I'll have all of these done basically, and we'll move on then to getting some walls UV'd, and thankfully the walls are very, very simple. The roofing parts are the more the trickier parts to get. So with them out of the way, it's kind of clean sailing now. We can make more as we go and kind of UV them on the fly, but the hard part thankfully is done. So we look forward to the next few, I'd say.